already got a few notes for today, but you gotta keep going, suckers. That's it, you guys. That's the last spot that I had on the list. So I'm done with this city. I'm gonna follow up with the maybes, and if the maybes don't pan out, then I'm gonna just give up on this spot and go to the next spot, because it'll be like that. And you know, like, to put it in perspective, I went to a location that I was hoping, you know, would be a potential spot, and they're closed down because of the pandemic. They're not reopening. They're done. They threw in the towel. And like, that's where it's at for a lot of these small businesses, man. Like, a lot of them are hurting. And it's weird because, like, one of the spots I went to, the guy was flat out like, nah. And I don't want to say he was aggressive, but he definitely was disgruntled. But when I walked in, he was talking to his mom, and I guess she was reassuring him, like, things were going to be okay. Like, things are going to work out. Like, don't worry. And so, like, you know, these people are dealing with a lot of stress, man, economic stress. And that's the reality of it. So, like, I don't hold nothing against them, man. You know, I wish them all well. I hope shit pans out for everybody, as, you know, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, right? Like, if one of your life goals is to own and operate a comic book shop, like, why not, bro? Like, I hope that works for you, right? If your, you know, dreams and hopes is to have a brick and mortar that sells board games, bro, I'm rooting for you. You know what I mean? And like, that's the reality. And I get it, man. Like, they're like, zines, like, what is that? So on and so forth. And so they just, you know, they're saying no, and it's not a problem. Like, I ain't upset. It definitely is a weird situation, because like I said, like, I haven't stopped to think about how much stress they're probably under, but they probably are under a lot. But with that being said, there's another flip side to that, man. But you know what? I'm gonna head home, and then we'll chop it up when I get back to the house. So this is day 2, and one of the things that I think I want to mention that I haven't touched on really, but it is kind of interesting to see the climate in a lot of these businesses, because a lot of them have this very sad attitude. I think a lot of them think that their business is done and it's over. And I went to 2 places that had their little paper sign saying, due to the COVID, they closed indefinitely. And so it is kind of weird, and it is a moment in time that I think will be remembered. It is also sad to see people who put time and effort into building something and it not pan out. But, you know, like, I've talked about this before, of like, people not wanting to innovate, right? Where, for the example of the zine machine, where nobody asked me, well, what's in it for me? No one asked me, explain this to me. No one asked any questions, right? Nobody was trying to think outside the box. And like, if you're busy and your business is booming, I get it. You don't have time. But I went to multiple spots. Actually, here's the images, and let me give you guys some commentary on how each one of these went. Let's do this. This is the first spot I hit up today. This is one of the ones I really wanted, and they said no, but the person I spoke to was rooting for me. He is himself a zinester, and was like, let me try to get this to happen. But the management was just like, nah, they didn't want to bring anything from the outside world. Anything that they weren't able to control to whatever degree they wanted, they thought it was unsafe due to the COVID stuff. This next spot was the Maybe. This is a thrift store with the profits of it going to a charity. They said maybe, but they said that they had to talk to the director. They looked through the zines to see kind of what the content would be, which lets me know that they might micromanage what we do have in the machine and what we don't. So that for me is kind of the minute they try to censor what zines we put in there, I'm going to have to walk on that. This spot right here was the funniest. This was the spot where the individual told me basically, well, where would I put it? And as you can see in this picture, anywhere. You could put this machine anywhere you wanted to put it. You have an abundance of space. Just say you don't want to, that's fine. But I thought that was funny, this idea of like, where would I put it? Where would it go? This spot told me the same thing, actually. He said, well, I don't have any space for it. And it's like, what do you mean? Look how empty it is. And this is only half of the location. There was another half. And the fella really was just, he had given up on everything, really. This spot right here was a little trip. The person I spoke to was real nervous and became very anxious to say no. I think she has probably had bad experiences telling people no, but I'm not one of those people. So, I was like, it's fine. Like, if it's not for you, I get it. It's not a big deal. Don't worry. Like, it's okay. But she got, high anxiety. And I think that for people in business, that might not be the best mix. But, kudos to her. This spot was kind of weird. This was probably the only spot where I have to admit that I was surprised at how annoyed the owner was and how adamant she was that she didn't want to carry zines because it's a craft store, right? And it's like some people are saying, "Well, I don't have space for it." It's like you have an abundance of space, and some people just flat out no without even trying to understand or consider what the possible upside to this would be. And like I said, like when I had my restaurant, I had people come in and try to peddle things to me all the time. It was at that moment that I decided that I would never badger anyone into taking anything that they didn't want, right? And so, like I told everybody, I appreciate the fact that they let me even say my script, right? Like my going down my little script, and I said it. They didn't interrupt me. They heard me out, and then some of them were like, "I passed." No, straight up, like I'm it's not for me. And then I had two, like I said, that were kind of like, "Well, I'm really sorry." I was like, "Don't be sorry. Like you could do something about this. You just would rather not to, and that's fine. I'm not here to badger you. I'm not here to twist your arm to make you do something you don't want to do, right? Like I gave you an honest depiction of what it is I'm trying to do. It's not for you. It's fine. It's not going to be for everybody." But my whole thing, even when I had Dirt Dog and people would come in, I would genuinely try to look at it from the perspective of this might be the next big thing, right? This might be that thing that pushes me over. And I would hear them on. I would ask questions because I wouldn't want to miss anything. But these folks, nah. And it's sad because for a lot of them, I could see a face of defeat. That's my honest perspective of the businesses that I've been going into lately. And like at first I didn't understand why some of them were aggressive. Because today I had one person that was aggressive, and the last time I went I had two. And I didn't fully understand why they were aggressive towards me. Like I didn't understand. I was like, why are you mad at me for? And I get it. They're just mad. They're not mad at me. They're just fucking mad about this shit. And instead of them trying to figure out what they can do to get out of that situation or try to find the next solution, they're just going to be mad. And honestly, that's why some of them are going to fail. Like one spot, right? The guy was smooth, but he was like, oh, he heard my script and he was done. He was like, nah, I'm over it. Like, it's cool. Like, it's done. And then he just kept sitting there doing nothing. When I had Dirt Dog, and Dirt Dog didn't make shit for a long time. And every day that I was there and I didn't have any guests, my mentality was like, how do I get people in here? And like literally the guy sat down and I said, well, do you mind if I play some of the arcades? And he's like, no, that's what they're there for. So whatever, I went to go play. And he just sat there. Just fucking sat there. And I feel bad saying this shit, but like because I come from business, like it doesn't make sense to me. Like if your business is not succeeding at the moment, you should be spending every minute trying to do something. He should have been on Instagram. He should be on YouTube. He should be on Twitter. He should be taking in zine vending machines and trying to get people that want to buy zines into his shop. Like, you should be trying it all. And he just sat down and watched me play a video game, and I played for a while because I'm pretty good. And then I bounced. And like the whole 20 minutes that I was there, homeboy just sat there and didn't do shit. And it's like, fuck, homie. But to each their own, you feel me? Like I keep telling people, like, you know, like I said in that clip, right? Like, if your intentions is to have a comic book shop, a video game shop, a board game, a craft store, all this, like, I genuinely wish you well and I hope you succeed. So, like, I don't wish them ill and I wish them well. But with that being said, man, I just got back. I'm fucking starving. About to smash this food that I'm cooking. Got my coffee brewed because your boy's a cheap ass. And I said I ain't buying shit on the road. And I didn't buy a motherfucking thing. I didn't buy not one thing. And it's good. And like, so like I said, so the plan right now is that with the 3 maybes that I got, I'm going to double back on Sunday and hit those 3 maybes up. And if that doesn't pan out, I think I'm gonna jump over all these local areas, because originally my plan was like, but let me try to keep it local. Fuck local. I don't think these people around this area are gonna fuck with me. Just because of the attitude that I've had in the first 16 spots, which, like I said, 16 spots is not shit, right? 16 spots is not that much. But from the first 16 spots, I feel like I've tasted enough in the local area to know whether or not it's gonna pan out here, and I don't think it is. So I think I am gonna take my ass to the Bay. I'm gonna try San Francisco, Oakland. I'm gonna try Sacramento. I'm gonna go ahead and try San Jose, and see whether or not I can get the vending machine posted up out there. So that's the plan, man. But yeah, so that's gonna be on pause until Sunday, just so I could double back for the 3, just because I told them I would, and you know, I just like being a person of my word, so definitely gonna double back and talk to them again. But alright, guys, that's all I got for you guys, man. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. Like the video if you have not done so yet, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Late.
Fight the fascists.